My name is Robert Happé, and I have been always wondering the reason for my presence on this planet for a long time. And I made it my job to find out why I was here. And I traveled a lot and I studied a lot. In fact, I studied philosophy, and after that I started to study philosophy in India. I spent 15 years in India traveling and finding out really why I'm on this planet. And I found out. I came back to Europe and started to share information with others who were equally interested. And gradually I came into doing a sort of sharing on a permanent basis, where I found myself sharing information so that other people understand better for themselves as to why they're on this planet as well. And I found out that we are in an age which is very different from the age which we have been in before. And most of us know we are now in an age which we know as Aquarius. And the key word for Aquarius is understanding. It's very different from the old age, because in the old age we were more dependent on what others told us to believe. And we all believed what they told us in the churches and the institutions and places of authority. And many were afraid of really not knowing what is going on. And much fear is in the hearts of men. And there was also fear in my heart when I was young and searching. And it is this fear which needs to be transmuted. And so I've designed a whole series of seminars, really, where I'm passing on information where we can cut through this barrier of fear and contact really that what is real within us. And that what is real, that allows us to be more human with one another, where we can share love, where we can share understanding, where we can share something better to the world in which we live. And yeah, these seminars, what they are all about. A series of 7. In fact, only recently I've done already the 8th level seminar. So it's an ongoing thing. Every subject we discuss in these seminars, all to do with understanding who we are and how we can get on with one another in a much better way. Let me see if I can begin somewhere. First of all, we are souls. We should see ourselves as souls, beings of infinite life. There is no death. And we came into this three-dimensional plane in order to express ourselves, to express love and to express understanding. But of course, this is not what happened when we came into this physical plane. The density is such that it's difficult to contact that what is real within one. And the density causes us to become divided within ourselves, not to see clearly anymore, to become separate from one another. And this separation, that creates fear, because we have never really been separate before. Before incarnation, we were all one. We understood what it is to be together, to love one another together, to share with one another. But here in planet Earth, with this density and fear and conflict and war and misunderstanding, everybody feels they're on their own. They have to fight to survive. And it's a misery. And we have to change that. Now in the Aquarian age, which is now, we are experiencing energies of the light that expands our consciousness to an extent where we begin to see one another as family, where we see that we are connected with one another, that we can do something together. We begin to recognize other cultures also as family. Not this is my country and that is your country, but this is our globe, this is our terra, this is our planet. Let us make it something lovely. Let us make it worthwhile to live here. This is the kind of consciousness we want to share. And I speak on these things. I work a lot with children as well. And children are much more open for this kind of information because they're so young, they still remember very well in their soul as to what is right. And that which is right is not always easily seen. That what is right is not always right all the time. It changes all the time. Our souls, we have come here to earth really to anchor reality. And reality is simply love. There is nothing exoteric about love. Exotericism is a word which belongs to the old age, the Piscean age. And we can now speak more open. With the Uranian energies, the ruler of Aquarius exposes everything that is not real. And all the illusions are being stripped from the consciousness of man nowadays. Everybody is confronted with that, what is real within themselves and within other people, politically, economically, socially, and also where consciousness is concerned. And so many people are being confronted in their relationships with that what is real. And that what is real is love. And it is not exoteric, it is not esoteric. It's just what is going on for us. There's no more hiding. Everything is in the open. And really we could describe ourselves best as a trinity of consciousness, where we have a conscious mind that is a tool that we've been given when we entered this physical plane. And we've also got a subconscious mind, which is directly related to the information which we carry in our soul. Our soul have been traveling through the universe for millions of years, not only on this planet, but also on other planetary bodies. And this soul is infinitely wise. It knows so much. It knows why it comes. It knows why it enters certain families. It knows also the dirt. It knows the misunderstandings. And it came in this situation. We all have come into whatever situation we have incarnated into for one reason. And it is to improve our own understanding and to share what we know. And we all know tremendous amount of things. Now, when the conscious mind can make contact with that subconscious knowingness, which is the feminine part within ourselves, then by bringing the masculine, the mind, and the feminine, the soul consciousness, when we can bring that together, then we get an instant connection to our super consciousness, also known as our higher self, and by some people we call that the angel that guides us. The angel that guides us and inspires us through all our many lifetimes. It's always the same angel, the same higher self, the same higher consciousness from which we came. This trinity needs to be manifest. It is an integration process. And integration is the key word for living on this planet. When you have learned to be yourself, when you have learned to awaken to what you are, when you have learned to become an individual, like I am me, I know this, I want to do that or the other, then eventually you realize that you as an individual live within everybody else. Everybody is you. You are a reflection of everybody. It's a Trinity consciousness. Now, when that begins to happen, when the Trinity takes place within your own consciousness, where you can think and feel at the same time, then you begin to express who you are. Then it becomes a whole different game. And I think then all exotericism and esotericism disappears from your mind, and you're just you. And that is everything. That's what it's all about. When we entered this physical plane, we have to learn to express understanding. But you can't express understanding when you are full of fear. And so the teaching of polarity is a very, very important one to awaken. Polarity is the science of the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge that was first denied us in the Garden of Eden when Adam wanted to partake of the apple of Eve, the fruit of Eve's consciousness, the fruit of her subconscious knowingness. Adam was not allowed to eat from that for some reason. And knowledge was denied man. However, man has always been on the search and eventually did partake of that apple, did partake of the tree of knowledge. And the tree of knowledge is the tree of polarity. The science of good and evil. Everything has an opposite. Everything is in polarity with one another, even man and woman. And when really things go well, is when man and woman embrace one another, when they love one another. And when the two are in love with one another, then everything is well. And this is with everything. Everything you do has a polarity. If you're nervous, if you're impatient, then you're out of balance. If you're very patient, you're not aware of the impatience, you're also out of balance. Everything needs to be finely balanced. We call that, in philosophical terms, walking the golden middle path. And so, to be getting control of your consciousness, you really need to be aware of your thought processes. And that means you have to awaken, you have to wake up, you have to be fully conscious as to what is taking place in your mind. Like, what do you think? Why do you think? Why am I thinking the thoughts that go through my mind? Is it me that is the thought? Who is thinking? We often forget that the mind is a tool, and that the mind registers information, it registers your experiences. And if you are not consciously in control of all that information that you register in your mind, then the mind begins to control you. And we can't sleep at night. We listen to our thoughts, we go through the same thoughts over and over again, even thoughts of years ago, when you were upset about something. And it stops you from being you. You can't express your real self if you are controlled by your mind. And so we need to really begin by becoming aware as to how to use the tools which we have been given, such as the mind, the emotions, the physical body. But the mind and the emotions, they are the most difficult ones. When you can, at the end of the day, sit quietly in your chair and you look at what has happened for you and what kind of thoughts went through your mind. And you can become conscious of those thoughts, like you can look at it. Then you have a choice. And it is having a choice that makes you being human. Those who have not got a choice, they all have to go and experience the same experiences all over again. Because the soul attracts experience. The soul is a magnetic phenomenon. And the soul attracts exactly that what you require in order to develop. Now that's an interesting thought. Because if you are the one who attracts everything, why should you complain about anything? Because everything that you attract belongs to you. You have to learn from it. It is you. It's part of you. Yeah, and then the thoughts that come in your mind about the experiences you have had, you may as well balance them. And not be afraid of them anymore. Not fight that what comes to you, but embrace that what comes to you. When you embrace the things that come to you, it's much easier. And you begin to learn. You begin to balance the polarities. You begin to accept that what is difficult, even as you accept that what is not difficult. Polarity is the only way to become conscious. When you become aware of the opposites that happen in your life, within your relationships, within that what happens at work or at home, within a family, there is polarity everywhere. And when you can balance it, life is becoming much more fun, because you get into control of your own experiences. It is your karma that it all comes your way. But what is karma? Karma is simply consciousness. And it's according to your consciousness that you attract experience. It's important. And it's not that difficult. People think that life is so difficult and philosophy is very difficult, but philosophy is not difficult. It's simply balancing what comes. And then you don't need to put a whole lot of difficult words about it. It just happens. And so the science of polarity is one of the most important sciences which we can share with one another. And when you begin to understand it, and you begin to see that that what you attract belongs to you, then it becomes fun. And then you can laugh about things. And in the laughter, everything gets balanced out. Meditation is extremely important in our lives, because meditation really means sitting with yourself and being with yourself without having to be with all the other things of life. And meditation is something to do with nourishment, where you nourish yourself with the energies of the light, the energies of the universe. The universe is filled with energy. And we are energy, and everything that is an expression of energy. But we are also creators. And if we are not in balance, we create that what is out of balance. And if you look around, you'll see a lot of stuff out of balance on our planet, because people don't meditate. People are not with themselves. And if you do meditate, and it doesn't need to be a long time, like an 8-minute meditation is often better per day than half an hour 1 week. Meditation, why? Meditation is a moment of stillness where you still the thoughts of your mind and you come to a moment of peace where you can enter your heart. Your heart, where the essence of your energy is present, the essence of love. Love, which is everything. There's only one energy, and that is love. And if you can contact it, you begin to become love. You begin to express it. You begin to express it in your creative mind. And so, meditation is nourishing you with the essence of the universe and expanding it through your breathing. The breath is a very powerful asset which we have, because breath is the conscious attention which you place on the energy that surrounds you and bring it in, and breathing it in into your lungs. Via the lungs it is brought through the bloodstream in all the cells of your body, and you fill yourself with this energy, which is love. And love unites. It is intelligence. It is intelligent energy. And the more you breathe deeply and profound, the more you fill yourself with the intelligence of the universe. And that intelligence unifies. It unifies you with yourself. In fact, you unify the masculine and the feminine within yourself. And the masculine is the mind, the conscious mind, and the feminine is that subconscious knowingness of that what you are, what you have always been and what you always will be. And when these two come together in that meditation, in that moment of stillness, then you begin to see. You begin to see what it is that you could manifest if you want to, as creation. You begin to create in your own world a situation that pleases you. And the more your vision begins to expand, the more you begin to create in a way that would allow all of us to live in a way that is pleasing. Meditation is extremely important, because once we can contact that who we are and what we want to create, and we begin to create within ourselves that what we want to come about on this planet, things are going well. It would also be good if people come together in small meditation groups, not in a sort of organized way, but spontaneously, sitting together, creating a little peace, creating a little opportunity where all of us can expand through our consciousness and other ideas that go on the ethers, and those who are sensitive will pick it up. That's meditation. Speak a little bit on the very time in which we live, a time of transformation, a time of change. Everything is changing nowadays. Everything what is old is becoming new. It's a kind of new age. But new means changing something. You can't have change if you don't change the old beliefs, the old opinions, the old ways of going on. And it doesn't mean we have to get rid of institutions and rid of people, but we have to change everything, make everything new. And the Uranian energies, which are the ruling planet of Aquarius, they force us to be confronted with that what is old. And the higher consciousness will provide the ideas how we can change things and how we can make things new. And that what is new is a consciousness which we also call fourth dimensional. One dimension, one step up from the three-dimensional plane. The three-dimensional plane is known as the plane where we become aware of ourselves. And when we have learned who we are, and we realize and recognize ourselves as love, then we become fourth dimensional in consciousness. And we begin to express that love, which is fourth dimensional. And love will make everything new. Yeah, many people speak about love. And what is love? But love is to unite and to recognize everybody is in need of it and has it within themselves and can express it if they could and if they would. And so the transformation is exactly that, changing everything that what is fear back into love. The fear and the love is a polarity, and it needs to be balanced. And everybody's full of fear. I don't know anybody who is without it. And we have to transmute it. And we can only transmute it with love. And you can only love when you contact yourself in meditation or in another way. Some people say, no, love is when somebody loves me and I have this person. It's also a form of love. But to contact this love within yourself and to express it, that is the key. In your work, at home, wherever you are. And for that, we need to talk more. We need to talk more about what is going on and why we came to this planet Earth. And most of us, we have been circling with this planet for eons. What we really want to do is bring this triangular consciousness, conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious mind into an integrated whole. We want to integrate everything that happens for us. And integration means using your conscious mind and make an effort to contact your subconsciousness in your experiences. So you have to be in meditation while you do things at work or at home. And don't take things so serious. And dance with these energies and integrate with everything. Mentally, emotionally, physically. Integrate with everything. And allow things to be. Allow things to happen. And if it gets too tough, go back to your quiet place at home or whatever and watch why it is so difficult. Why are things difficult? And all that substance come up. And you begin to balance that out, integrate with it. That's the key. And that's New Age. Wanting to balance things out. Some of us have to begin. And when you begin, others begin. And this is change. And then we change into a fourth dimensional consciousness, a fourth dimensional world. The fourth dimension is not a dimension of consciousness that just comes and we are all beginning to enter the golden age. No, this is not how it works. The golden age can only come in when enough of us want it to come in. It's a conscious choice. We have to be alert. And people who say, no, the Messiah is going to save us, or people coming from extraterrestrial sources and they're going to save us from all the problems ahead, the pollution, the misery, the war, I say, this is not going to happen. That what is going to happen through us. We are the conscious creators. We have the ability to make this planet a beautiful home or a miserable place according to our choices. But if we can consciously make the choice to make this place a place where all of us can live in peace and happiness, it will happen. And so the fourth dimension is a dimension that comes in through our choice, through our creative ability. Once you have an idea that allows all of us to live a better life, then you can expand that consciousness through your thinking, through your breathing, through your whole body. And expanding happens again through meditation. Meditation is the key. I would be happy to speak on these subjects, I suppose, but it's difficult to tell one from the other, because to live is to die again and again so that you may live. We die to that what is old. We die to that what is not real. And our physical plane, a plane of duality, a plane of reality and illusion, are all the time into balance, into play with one another. And we have to die to our illusions to become more real, to become more ourselves, to become more alive. And when you are alive, you can express yourself, you can express love, you can express, in a creative sense, love that allows everything to unite and to grow and to blossom and to become beautiful. That is life. I mean, you can't do that. You have to die. You die, your physical body dies, disintegrates, and then your soul, which cannot die, moves on with all that information that you have collected together. And when that soul still has to learn, when it still needs to learn how to balance these illusions and these fears, it has to come back, and it waits for the best moment to incarnate again. And probably it incarnates with the same people. And it may even move into the same family in order to go through these same experiences, these same lessons, until it begins to balance these fears and balance these illusions and heal the death of that consciousness so that they become alive. But life is life. It cannot die, and the soul cannot die. The only thing the soul can do is to learn and learn again and take on a different body here and there in order to learn these lessons, in order to be eternity. And that is what is life, eternal, without death. We still live in a world where duality is predominant, and duality means that people compete with one another. Now, competition is all very well if you want to compete in producing a very good product that would serve us all. But when competition is, I want to be better than you, then somebody always has to lose. And when somebody loses, there's always somebody unhappy, and that creates a spiral of fear and darkness and misery and then misunderstanding, and only one can win. And that is a consciousness that is old, and it needs to be replaced by a different kind of consciousness. And that what is in polarity with competition is cooperation. And that's the new consciousness. That's a fourth dimensional consciousness based upon love, where you cooperate with others to produce a better product. Where you're not in competition with people, but where you're in competition with the old, with that which is not the prosperity consciousness. We are all meant to live a prosperous life. We are all meant to be fully comfortable. And that is the challenge. And when we cooperate more with one another and share more with one another, especially understanding, we begin to all become prosperous, because we have all access to a higher consciousness. But if you're full of fear, you're cut off from this energy. Fear is the enemy, and fear needs to be cleared. And when we can put things more in the open and clear our fears and become fearless, then we can cooperate with one another without fear, and then we can all live in comfort and wealth and share it with everybody. The question, I suppose, which you're putting to me is, how do we get towards that goal of becoming prosperous? Well, the goal is all very beautiful. It's good to see the goal. It takes a mind to be able to chart a road to walk in order to get to the goal. But that what truly is valuable is all that which you experience on the way to the goal. And on the way to the goal, we look at one another we try to communicate with one another and try to get unified with one another so that we can together, in a sort of cooperative way, manifest that what serves us all. And I suppose I come here on the subject of education and the young people, because many of the young people who are now on the planet today, they are of a superior consciousness than the average human being on the planet. They have within their soul information that would all of us allow us, it would allow all of us to live a better way. They will, if they are allowed to contact their inner knowingness, present us with inventions, ideas that would improve our planet tremendously. Who are these children? The children are souls of thousands and thousands of lifetimes of experience, who have not only lived on this planet or Atlantis, but they have lived in other planes and other galaxies, who have, many of them have already manifest a self-aware consciousness. They are capable of contacting their own creative potential and express themselves. But when they come into incarnation with us and they partake through their educational program from 1 till 9 from so many fears and misunderstandings of parents, authority and school, they lose that contact with their inner divine being, and they become confused, and they also become full of fear, and they can't express the best in them. And in their confusion, they express the polarity of that what is best, and that is confusion and fear. And many people say, these children are awful what they are doing nowadays. But they don't have a very good example. We need to change our schools. We need to change the approach to our children. We need to look upon them with different eyes. Our children are not babies who do not know anything. Children are beings of knowledge. They're honorable. They're full of love. They've come in to help us in the difficulties and darkness which we can't even handle ourselves. We have to share with them what we know, sure. And we have to set a certain discipline, sure. But we also have to give them the opportunity to contact that knowledge which they carry within themselves. And that can only be done when you respect them. When you respect a child, when you love a child, these qualities allow the child to express itself. To express exactly that, what they wanted to bring to our planet. And that's prosperity. And the prosperity of our planet lies in the hearts of our children. And we have millions and millions of children on our planet wanting to bring us exactly that, what we so badly want. But we only can get it out through respect and through love. And giving them the opportunity to say what they know. And so education has to change a little bit. We have to stop indoctrinating them, stop telling them what to do and what to think and what to be, but share with them what we know, and then ask them, what do you know? Give us your vision of how to live life on our planet. What can we do to make this planet a better place? That kind of consciousness needs to enter the school. And when it does, it will renew everything. Within 1 decade, we could theoretically manifest prosperity for all, through our children, through love, through respect.